experience told in a very compelling book. It's called The Westport Haunting, a true story. And here to tell us more about his book is the author, James Blevins. Welcome, James.
Well, thank you, Tara.
This is more than a book. You actually experienced this, some pretty strange things going on in that house, good and bad. Tell us first, just how did you come to live here?
Well, the house belonged to my grandparents, and they lived in it until they passed away, and then it inherited to my mother. And then it sat empty for over a decade, and then my mom and I decided to refurbish the house. And that's when I moved in after the refurbishment, and that's when we discovered the paranormal activity.
Yeah, and you said in your book, you experienced some very common things, some bangings. When did it hit you that, hey, something is going on in here?
Well, it was when I was doing the upstairs renovation. I had opened the second floor of the house and was doing the renovation on the plaster of the walls and the ceiling, and I noticed this white mist in front of me, and I thought, well, that's not right. That's that's a ghost or something.
And this is the house right here?
Yes, that's the house. It's 28 miles from Bristol.
Oh, wow.
A tiny town.
And several groups known for communicating with the spirits came. The one we're most familiar with is, of course, TAPS. It has a great TV show. How many spirits and what kind of ghosts did you find in your house?
Well, they identified 8 human entities and 1 non-human entity, which was evil, which we would assume would be a demon. And the demon was holding the other entities trapped in the house. And that's what TAPS had discovered. The house is loaded with ghosts of all different eras, of all different time periods, including my grandmother and a little girl we don't know named Lisa. It's absolutely amazing what they discovered.
Any idea why they chose this house?
I don't know. I have no idea. It may be some sort of portal between this dimension and the next, or it just may be luck of the draw or bad luck of the draw as it goes.
Maybe so. And as I told you this morning, I actually got your book in a morning. Why did you decide to put this experience in this book?
Well, TAPS had asked me to keep a journal since 2003. I had been keeping a journal of every paranormal experience that I had experienced. So basically, it's just a collection of my journal entries. The story was so compelling when the TV company came from New York to do the documentary on the show. They said, hey, you should put this in book form and have it for the documentary, which will air on a cable network later on in the winter.
Okay, so we'll see that later.
Yeah.
I was worried it had already happened.
I know.
And did you believe in ghosts before this entire experience?
No, I didn't believe in ghosts. I thought, yeah, right, whatever, until I actually saw one float right in front of me. I'm like, my goodness, I have to swat them out. My house was so loaded with ghosts.
Yeah. What would you say, for someone who doesn't believe, what would you say to encourage them? Yes,
well,
this exists.
I would say do research. Read everything that you can find on paranormal activity and what would make a ghost and what would cause a ghost to be trapped in this dimension instead of crossing over into the next dimension. Research. Research as much as you can and make your own decision. I didn't believe myself, but I am a true believer now.
Somebody wanted you to believe, right?
For sure.
And where can we find your book, James?
My book is in every major book retailer in the world and in Europe, all through the U.S., and you can find it at www.westporthaunting.com.
Okay, pretty easy to find. Thank you so much, James,
Thank you,
for joining
Tara.
us and sharing in your experience.
My pleasure.